This time we call the regular meeting to order. If you will, stand for the prayer, and our BCHerons will present our colors.
Let us pray. Lord, as we come to this time, we are so thankful for your love, your mercy, God, your many blessings. We're thankful, Lord, just for this day that you've given us. Lord, we pray, Lord, you just bless the boardroom tonight, Lord God, give them wisdom, Lord, to make the best decisions for our county, Lord God, for our students and our staff. In Christ's name we ask and pray.
Please. Present colors.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Post.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. This time we'll turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Morgan, for her.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. I'm excited about the cadets that you just saw. We've had our junior ROTC going strong at the high school for many years, but thanks to our middle school and high school administration and Colonel Chapman, we now have cadets in 8th grade, and so some of those students you saw tonight were actually 8th graders and freshmen, so some of our youngest cadets that just presented the colors. All right, good to see our visitors tonight. Just got a couple of announcements. Want to remind everyone that we do have Thanksgiving break coming up here shortly. It's going to be November 22nd through 26th. Also, our next work session on Thursday, December 9th, we're going to do a change in the time. We're going to meet at 4 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. And the reason for the change is because our middle school and high school band program and chorus programs are coming together to do one big concert on Thursday, December 9th at 6:30 in the Brantley County High School gym. So we're really excited about that event. I'm going to ask our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Haney, to come up and give us just a little update on what's been happening in the school system.
Switch to the next slide for me, please. So just a little bit, Henry Ford had said anyone who keeps learning stays young, and that's definitely a part of our educators here. If we slow down in our learning, we are definitely staying behind the curve. So we want to make sure that we are looking at what professional learning opportunities we have available. And on the left over there, you will see we had our first ever data dip meeting, and we served some refreshments, and our principals and APs were able to look at behavior data, academic data, and attendance data, as well as our graduation and other things that we were able to share, and basically make some trends and some comments about the things that we could do in our schools to improve, and then what we're doing that we want to continue. And then on the right-hand side, we've been having all year long meetings that from K all the way up to 12th grade. And these are our vertical planning meetings, and we've had a lot of feedback from our teachers, really appreciative of the fact that they could speak with the grades below them and above them, and also just kind of find out what's going on that they need to prepare students for. Excuse me. So the other thing that we want to make sure, we do a lot of coverage of academics in Brantley County, and we have a really strong system, but we also want to make sure that we're preparing our students for character education and going out into the world. So we make a life by what we give, Winston Churchill said, and on the left you'll see our clubs and the different adults also at the high school doing our trunk or treat, and we had a really great time, even though it rained all day. We were afraid we weren't going to be able to have that, but we had a wonderful time, and I heard many families come back and tell us how much they appreciated that. We also still have our character education ribbons, so that's on the bottom down there with our NPS, and at the top we like to, during this time it's definitely a little difficult on some of our educators, so you see HES sharing some donuts with their teachers and just kind of brightening the day of some of the educators.
Okay, thank you. And next up, we've been sharing about our schools or having representatives from our schools share at each meeting. And tonight, we are excited to have Waynesville Primary. So if those administrators would come on up and tell us a little bit about Waynesville Primary. I know this is a school I love to visit, always have great activities going on, lots of positive attitudes and well-mannered kids. So tell us about Waynesville.
I'm Adrian Thompson, principal at Waynesville Primary School. Been here for a little while now, going on 10 years, and I always want to thank everybody for the opportunity. It has been a blessing. Love our little school and love our community. And I also want to introduce somebody very important too that maybe you haven't seen around quite as much, but Dr. Morgan has said, and I completely agree, that one of the most important things that we do is hire the right people. And I'm going to take a moment to brag on myself. I do a pretty good job of recommending some great people. One of those people happens to be Miss Amber Green, assistant principal. Can't find a harder worker, more dedicated. You should hear her on the announcements in the morning. She could sell anything. That's her backup plan. Not that she needs one, but she's very energetic and enthusiastic and has been a huge asset. And this is Miss Amber Green. So we're going to go ahead and head to our next slide here.
Yep.
All right, just overall, our students, of course, we have our 3 pre-K classrooms, 93 kindergartners. If you're in the primary school business, you do a lot of wiping noses and zippers and tying shoelaces and that kind of stuff. And but it is, again, that's also, I feel like, at least also the most fun age too. So we're thankful to have a large and growing student population. And our next slide. Also, our Eagle, our faculty and staff. Miss Green's kind of rubbing off on me too. She also coins the term the eaglets, referring to our students and everybody's eagles and that kind of. She's kind of she's rubbing off on me. I can tell, as I'm using some of those terms myself. But we have 2 administrators, our 32 teachers. We also have our support staff. Some other things I want to thank you for too is, of course, our SROs. Had a half an SRO. Now we have a full-time SRO between the 2 gentlemen that we have. Grateful for them. Also, we have a nurse, pretty well, a nurse or nurse assistant all day long. Very thankful for that. And I know that no one is more thankful than our secretaries who were filling in on some of those responsibilities. And that has been a tremendous relief for them. And we are very appreciative. Also, with our CARES Act funding, we've been able to bring in some retired educators and some other outside folks, some aspiring educators to come in and work with small groups of students. That has been huge, and we are eager to see the positive results we get back from having that extra help. And our Eagle Code, this is something that you can hear Ms. Green talk about a lot on the announcements in the morning. Be positive, be respectful, and be responsible. And we've got some slides over each one of those that we're going to kind of share some examples here. If you'll go to the next one. Ms. Green, you want to talk about some of these?
Yes, sir. So we really pride ourselves in being positive in our school and really encouraging the students to embrace what they can control and that they're in charge of their education. And so we've got some great pictures here of the children in the learning process and enjoying being positive and owning the opportunities that they have. And then we also have some other slides showing the children being respectful whenever they're in the process of learning and working with other students and helping one another. And we have some pictures of them being responsible also in their learning processes. And some neat things, we've got Officer Chris there with the, is Beacon with them?
Yes,
so
that's
I'm
Beacon.
so blind, y'all.
Yeah.
But so Officer Chris is with Beacon and showing the children how community helpers really help and assist and support us. And I see Officer Blunt over there as well. And then we have lots of opportunities for family and community members to become engaged in the school. And so you can see some previous times when visitors were allowed into the building. We were having parents in for some meals at some points, and also our curriculum night activities. And then finally, one of the ways that we really reach out to the community is we are present on social media. We really connect with our families to let them know what's going on in the building and also how they can assist and support their child's learning. And then one of the neat things that we do in the summer is we stay engaged with our families by doing a Storytime Live. So we'll read a story on Facebook Live, and we've got, about a following of about 40 children that participate in their pajamas, and we just read and have a good time together. It's a neat time, and it's a neat way to stay connected during the summertime with our students. And we strive to reach students every day, and we always end our announcements with that every morning. We want to make certain that we are reaching every student every day and working hard for our students.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thompson and Ms. Green. We sure are proud of Waynesville Primary School and all those little eaglets. So next up, if we could have our administrators from Atkinson Elementary School please come forward. So when the Waynesville primary students finish 3rd grade, they go on to Atkinson Elementary School, which is 4th through 6th grades.
Good night, and I was going to say good afternoon, but it's a little bit late for that. I'm Kenya Clark. I am the principal at Atkinson Elementary School, and this is my 28th year serving students and families in the Brantley County school system. I've been at several schools, and when I worked at the middle school, I actually, we were neighbors. My office was right beside her classroom. So Miss Cherisani is assistant principal with me at Atkinson Elementary School, and we've started at the middle school, worked at Atkinson Elementary School as an RTI teacher and assistant principal, and now we are partnering together to be principal and assistant principal. And I'll let her tell a little history about her career here.
Hi, I'm Miss Cherisani. I am in my 13th year of education here in Brantley County. I was a 7th grade teacher for 7 years, known as Miss Jenkins back then. So I was Miss Jenkins, then moved to Effingham, which is my hometown, for 2 years to be an instructional coach. And then I came back because I loved Brantley so much you couldn't keep me away. So I came back here, taught 1 more year, and then moved to Atkinson where she was the assistant principal, and I got to be the RTI teacher / did some instructional coaching, and then moved up to assistant principal. And this is my 2nd year there. So I'm very happy to be a part of this school. It's definitely a little hidden treasure.
Our presentation consists of a video, and we have 2 precious students who will read something that they had, an assignment that they had in class, and I'll explain a little bit more about that when our video is finished. But we have nicknamed, or it's been a while, Atkinson has been nicknamed our hidden gem, or our piece of slice of heaven. Yes, little slice of heaven. So we hope that when you view this video that you'll understand why. Mr. Allen, if you'll hit play.
Hi, I'm Ms. Cherisani, the assistant principal here
that school pride?
This is what they say our pride pledge at the beginning of each day, and I call them "We're the Wolves," and they do this little wolf sound at the end, and I just say, "You hear little baby wolves," before we start our day. So we hope that was a glimpse. We start our day. So we hope that was a glimpse of our little slice of heaven. And now we have two students. If Olivia and Zach, if y'all would like to come up, they wrote a paragraph or two about what Atkinson Elementary School means to them. So Olivia, she is one of our sixth graders. Well, actually, they're both sixth graders. So if you want to go ahead and start, you can just put your paper right here so you can read it. You might need to bend the microphone a little bit more.
To me, Atkinson Elementary means the place where I spend nearly every day of my life. It means the place I've gone to since I was 9. It means the place that I love and I'm sad when I'm away from. Brantley County means the place where I've known all my life. It's the place where my mother and my grandmother grew up. Even when I didn't live here, my grandparents did, so I've seen it since I was a baby. Brantley County is where the story of my life is set. My aspirations for the future are that I want to go to Young Harris, a college in North Georgia. I want to go and become an interior designer. I love interior design, and I even have a book written by a famous interior designer. I would like to run my own interior design company where people can come in and I can make their house a home. I would like to contribute a lot to our community. I like to make many homes and inventions that make life easier. I would like to clean up Brantley County and maybe even run a homeless shelter. I want to make the place that I've lived all my life a nice place for other people to live all their lives.
And I commend them for coming and speaking. So, go ahead and read it, baby. This is Zachary.
To me, Atkinson Elementary is a community for people of all ages to get together and work to achieve our goals. To me, it is also a place that teaches responsibility and expectations. I have been living here for 2 years now and have many supporting and inspirational friends. I wish to be a better person, and my aspirations for the future are to be an artist. When I'm an artist, I hope to inspire the people in my community to be creative.
We like to hear from boys and girls with goals. Great job. All right, that is just a great lead into our next presentation. As you can see on the video from these young children, the heart of an educator, it doesn't matter what kind of day you have, if it's the best of the best days or a really hard day, you never have to ask, why do we do the work that we do? You can look at the boys and girls, and that's exactly why we do the work that we do. And anytime that we can help them, even after they leave us, pursue their goals, and for some that will be, a college education, and having access to a college education is a very important thing. And sometimes we have people that are able to gift others with that chance, opportunity to have that access. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Carol Ann to come forward and tell us just a little bit about a very special scholarship that we're going to be discussing tonight.
First, let me just say, wow, that was fantastic. I mean, I'm myself how awesome that was, and it makes me proud to be a Brantley County here, and so proud of our young people. So I'm excited to announce that the Mumford Memorial Association of Brantley County has generously decided to transition the Ava Rose Strickland Lightsey Scholarship over to the Brantley County school system. This will bless many Brantley County students for years to come. I'm going to share a little about Ava Rose at this time. Ava Rose Strickland Lightsey was born January 6, 1965, and went to her heavenly home February 26, 2011. Ava Rose was the second of 4 children and the oldest daughter of Dr. Wade and Miss Rosemary Smith Strickland, and the granddaughter of the late Mr. Avery and Miss Lena Strickland, and Mr. Charlie and Miss Murda Smith. She was the loving wife of Mr. Joseph Edmund Lightsey for 23 years, having married on June 4, 1988. Ava was a 1983 graduate from Glenn Academy High School and continued her education by attending Brunswick Junior College, where she obtained a degree in nursing. Helping others was part of daily life for Ava. She loved being Santa's helper for many underprivileged yet deserving children. She began by purchasing necessities such as coats and shoes, which soon led to her purchasing and giving away 28 bicycles one Christmas. For high school students, she provided the funding for them to seek tutoring to help improve SAT scores. When Ava heard of a student struggling to get through college to earn a nursing degree, she provided the funding. Ava's desire to help others continued beyond the norm. Neighbors Helping Neighbors became her favorite organization to support. If she was made aware of a need, she did her best to fulfill it, whether it was for an organization such as a church or choir, a family, or an individual child. Although Ava didn't struggle financially, she had much in common with those she chose to help. Coming from an underprivileged family brings obstacles to overcome. For 46 years, Ava conquered obstacles every day with health issues. She was born with hydrocephalus and at the age of 6 weeks had her first of many brain surgeries. She then began having seizures and was diagnosed with epilepsy. She overcame these obstacles to achieve goals doctors predicted would never be possible. She continued proving to be a fighter when diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and beat all odds by living for over a year after a diagnosis that generally allows you 6 to 9 months. Ava was a loving soul that believed everyone deserved a chance at a normal and successful life. Education was always important to her on the road she felt led to success. Ava is no longer with us, but her dream for helping others help themselves lives on through this scholarship established in her memory. We've enjoyed working with the Memorial Association to prepare for this time, this event. And at this time, I'm going to introduce the president of the Montford Memorial Association of Brantley County, Mr. Tyrus Manning, and he's going to come and say a few words as well.
I'm not drinking, I'm just telling you. Today's surgery, a little slow on my feet. And I'm going to talk a little bit in the reverse what's happening tonight and what's happened in the past. Let me get my notes here. And let me take my glasses off. These are not for reading, these are for driving, and I can't remember to remove them when I come in the building. Can everyone hear me? Should I adjust here? Thank you, thank you. Make sure I'm in order here, but I think I need to say a few things. I do have some notes over on the back page. I'd like to talk about our organization too much. And I guarantee I'll have you out here in less than an hour. Anyway, and when Susie told me about a month ago she'd like for me to do this, and I said, great, I would like to do it. Excuse me. I know I brought some water, but I had a little scratchy throat, forgive me. Anyway, a little bit, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Drinking on duty again. And again, when I first heard of this assignment, I, excuse me, I started thinking too much, not of myself, but some of my people that was in this organization with me and what had happened. And I do remember I was on orders for Vietnam, and I came out of the river one day from fishing, and my wife said, "Guess what? You're gonna be a teacher in Brantley County." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yep. I just, Miss Mabel Moody just had you pull off orders for Vietnam to teach the 5th grade, and I'm gonna be teaching the 4th grade next door." And I could go on and on with the superintendents and what they did, and before they were superintendents and after they were superintendents. And one of them taught my father in the 6th grade and me in the 6th grade. But I'm getting a little too much about myself again. But after Susan told me this, and I started thinking about what I'm going to say, and I said, you know, I really need to write a book. And I had an uncle that was a POW for 4 years, and he put that 4 years into a book, and it's in the library, The Man from Bataan. But enough about that. I want to, and you've already been told when we were started in 2004, and anyway, I had a page here for Ava and Joe and Dr. Strickland and Rose, and I think my predecessor did a great job on that. So I'm going to save us a little time and move to some of the organization. And Susan gave me this, and talking about Susie Bell Jacobs. She's right there in that pretty red shirt, but blouse, excuse me. And Varnis, am I saying that correctly?
Juanis and
Juanis. That could not be, and I know her, and she was on our board of directors, and I'll get to that in just a second. But anyway, she and Susie started talking about payback for we Mumford graduates. You know, there's 4 funds. One's at the headquarters of the Presbyterian Church. One's at Thornwell Orphanage, where I lived for 4 years. Went to Presbyterian College, but I was an orphan. I brown bagged every day. And walked, rain or shine. Sound like my Uncle Mac now. Uphill both ways. Anyway, excuse me, and I know I'm taking too long with my scratchy voice, but while Juanis and Susie was talking in Hoboken, Rose and I, at Mr. Avery's funeral, we started talking on this end, and then we finally put it all together. And we did it at the Strickland Lodge, and I just want to thank you so much, and Joe, you too, for all the work that you did to feed us over the 17 years, and appreciate that very much. And made me feel a little guilty for all those fine meals. But anyway, back in the States. At this time, I'm going to thank several people, and I've been cautioned about taking too long with this. And one is, and I'm going to start with Carol Ann, and thank you so much. She made our last meeting, and we talked about this, and she's going to be in charge of the scholarship, and I like that. And we also had some people I want to acknowledge that are not here. And one's Tracy Altman, a lawyer that helped us put this together, and he works in Atlanta now. And Reba Smith, who was a consultant for us, and Chip Deal, he was an accountant that helped us maneuver through IRS and get all this put together. And who am I leaving out? Oh, I want to call your attention to the people that we've helped. 14, is that, how many graduated? 13
recipients.
There's a plaque here in the hall with the names on it, if you'd like to know who those are. So I won't get into them by name and talk a lot about them. So, let me get to I'll get to the check in a minute, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, and Dr. Morgan, you know, she's going to be overseeing this too. And we've got Wiley Cruz here on the paperwork, so we're going to be overseeing Wiley too. Thank you. I say overseeing, she'll do that. Anyway, Our board of directors, Grace Joyner, Carolyn Higginbotham, Thomas Cruz, been such a big help to the organization. Mary Lou Smith also, and Susie Jacobs. I could talk for the next hour on just what Susie's done for us. And thank you, Susie, so much, so much. And who did I leave out? Rosemary, I'm sorry. Our vice president, always not only getting us ready to have a fine dinner, but anyway, pledge allegiance to the flag. I won't ever forget you. You've just been a real treasure for us. And who did I leave out? I guess that's it. But too many notes, too many notes. Like I said, I had all this on 3x5s, and I decided I'd just get back to the history a little bit and people involved when I was told to keep that to a minimum. Thank you, Susie. Oh, and the most important, where's my helper? Bobby, bring me that paragraph. Well, I'll come get it. And again, I'm not drinking. I'm just a little woozy on my sight and my walking. I've been in the hospital 4 times this year already, and I hope it's my last. So at the Board of Education meeting on 8 November, tonight, the Mumford Memorial Association of Brantley County Incorporated transfers $178,575.40 in funds and assets held in the name of Ava Rose Strickland Lightsey to the Brantley County School District and to manage the scholarships in accordance with the eligibility requirements and the criteria agreed upon by the association. So, with this said, I'm going to open the check. Oh, all this blue. You're staggering. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here it is. It's real.
Thank you. And we want to get one with the Christmas.
These 3 right
Joe.
here. Joseph, all 3.
Gonna borrow my brush?
Miss Haney. Did you get a good shot? Okay.
Are you the newspaper guy?
And I did. I left one thing out.
Here's an article.
Our association is good through 31 December, and we're incorporated, and any contributions are tax deductible up until the 31st. So don't forget us and spread the word. We're still in business, and I left something out. Our new coordinator, where is she? She's going to introduce me. Where did she go?
Caroline Gill.
Oh, there she is. Anyway, thank you for everything. Any questions? I'll take questions. I guarantee you I won't laugh. Okay, well, thank you all. And,
Thank you, Mr. Towers.
Thank you, Board of Education. Thank you, Dr. Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. What an awesome gift, and this is going to help students, graduates for years and years and years to come.
Can I tell
What a legacy.
Can I tell one other thing about my teaching career?
Sure.
I told you Miss Moody had me pulled off orders to Vietnam to teach the 5th grade. And when I came back from Vietnam, my 5th graders would see me in the courthouse and the Gold House and the Piggly Wiggly, and they'd say, how did Vietnam compare to the 5th grade? I said, well, after the 5th grade, Vietnam was a cakewalk. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I want to salute those thank you, Rick, on duty again. I want to salute those 8th graders and 9th graders that did the flag.
Yes,
And
sir.
these from Atkinson?
Atkinson, yes, sir.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
Dr. Strickland and family, I'd like to say thank you for all that you do for Brantley County, not just this, but I know this comes from your heart, and I hope this legacy lives on forever.
All right, that concludes my update.
All right, this time we'll take a 2-minute break for those that would like to depart. And you're more than welcome to stay, but we'll pause for a couple of minutes if you would like to depart. We thank you all for coming. Again, thank you. Hearing none, we'll move right along. Approval of the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Ms. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Disposition of the minutes. Could I get a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David? Chair votes yes. Monthly financial report. Could I get a motion to accept the monthly financial report?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the financial report? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. School financial report. Could I get a motion to accept the school financial report?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the school financial report? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Athletic report. These do not require a vote, so we'll accept those. Ms. Teresa, would you read the SPOS report, please?
Yes, locally spent was $144,385.97. That is fabulous. That was even up from last month, so great job, Brantley County. Car taxes collected was $67,720.81 for a total of $212,106.78. So y'all are doing a beautiful job supporting local, everything from the shops, the restaurants, to buying your gas local. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. CARES 3, that's,
Yes.
we have that presented here. At this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Morgan.
Yes, sir. Okay. For the first action item, I'd like to recommend or to approve the agreement between Brantley County Board of Commissioners and Brantley County Board of Education to continue funding the partnership agreement for the 4-H program assistant who is employed by the Brantley County Extension Office as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the FY22 Title 1A budget of $1,369,512 as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir, just as a reminder, the majority of the Title I budget is used for salaries for reduced class sizes. We also have a portion that is going to be purchasing the Renaissance Learning, Lexia, and IXL programs.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the FY22 Title V budget of $78,616 as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir, these funds are going to be used to update computer labs in the school system, and the technology department and Ms. Gill have collaborated to determine which ones were the oldest and in most need of replacing. And so that money will be spent on computers to update those labs.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $9,712.50 from Howard Technology Solutions to purchase 25 Chromebooks for the special education department as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
These are the touchscreen Chromebooks, and our special ed department will be distributing them as needed throughout the county.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $8,520 from John Deere to purchase a Gator for Brantley County High School.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir, this is going to be the Gator that our athletic trainer will use, both on practice days and game days.
Did you find out what the $89.99 was?
Yes, she said it was some servicing fees and all, but she's checking to see if we might be exempt from that, even though it was on the quote.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the local board training plan as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion. Somebody else say it?
Yeah. You want?
I'll say it.
All right. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Each year, we present to the Georgia School Board Association the tentative training plan for the board members. And so this tonight, we're presenting it, and as we complete our training through the years, we will update it and send them the official hours for each board member.
I know that we do some things here at the local, at the board office now. I would like to ask that we get, Mr. Levance, I think his name right, to do, a training with us, to
Okay.
kind of give us an idea of what all he does and what this board is doing, because, yeah, we don't say it enough, but there's a lot of work that goes into this, and I appreciate all of this, because it helps me to understand, and I don't always understand it, and I have to ask. But I would like for him to do some of our training this year here at board office, if he would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve a resolution for the Brantley County Board of Education and Mumford Memorial Association for the Ava Rose Strickland Lightsey Scholarship Fund as presented.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Dr. Morgan, we need an executive session?
I don't.
Everybody good with that? All right. Any other business?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following resignations. Jessica Clark, paraprofessional at Nahuna Primary School, and Marie Hickox, paraprofessional at Nahuna Elementary School.
Good.
I want the paper. Just a minute.
Dr. Thompson, I was gonna tell you a while ago, you said you were pretty good at hiring good people. We are too.
Yeah. And you should have bragged that you're the oldest principal, not age-wise.
In his 12th
You
year.
should have bragged on yourself a little bit.
12 years principal.
That's just because you let me.
Okay, I'd like to ask the board to accept the following resignations. Jessica Clark, paraprofessional at Nahuna Primary School, Marie Hickox, paraprofessional at Nahuna Elementary School.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following recommendation for hire Macy Rao, paraprofessional at paraprofessional at Nahuna Primary School.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
And I'd like to ask the board to accept the following transfer. Emily Devine to transfer from paraprofessional at Atkinson Elementary School to paraprofessional at Waynesville Primary School.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
And I'd like to ask the board to accept the hire of the CARES 3 personnel as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Thank you.
Any other business? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.